Hey everybody, this is your boy Jim Austin coming to you from the podcast studios in the Stockyards. This is a new project for Jim Austin Online. My name is Jim Austin and I'm the broker with the Austin Company, Commercial Real Estate. And I've created this podcast studios up here in the Stockyards. I encourage you to come by and see us sometime. We're at 2029 North Main, just in the north side of Fort Worth, one block south of Joe T. Garcia. My show features things that are going on in the Metroplex. We also talk about commercial real estate, and we also talk to people that make a difference. And today I have a special friend of mine, Mike Costanza, is in the studios today. Hey Mike, how are you today?
Doing fine, Jim. How you doing?
Man, I'm good. I'm good, and I appreciate you taking some time to come out here and let us just chop it up, as we say in the neighborhood, about what's going on. I've had much respect for you as a person who's had his finger on the prize when it comes to commercial real estate. So we're going to talk a little bit about you and where you grew up and how you got that feeling in your stomach to be involved in commercial real estate. Because I've been in the business about 40 years next year, and I know you've been in there
At the same time.
same time. Yeah.
We started out together. in fact.
Together. Matter of fact, yeah. Where'd you grow up? Where are you from, Mike?
New Orleans, Louisiana.
Okay. I see all that purple on there, brother.
Yeah.
LSU. How does that ring into your
It
life?
rings real good. National championship.
Yeah. Joe Burrows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He did good.
Man, that was a hell of a game. You know.
That's 5 national championships.
Okay.
The one from 1908 they don't count, but that was probably the year they went undefeated and only 6 points were scored against them.
Okay.
So, yeah, that was probably their best year ever. But Joe Burrows has set the records.
So, other than being from New Orleans, did you go to school there?
I went to school there until I dropped out. And in my family, they had a policy: when you turn 17, you drop out of school and you go into the military.
Yes, sir.
So I dropped out at 17, joined the military, and went to Vietnam for a couple of years. Came back, and I was a drill sergeant for another 3 years, and then I ended up in recruiting for a couple of more years until I got discharged from the service. Spent about 8 years in the military.
So you're a veteran.
I'm a veteran, yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. My dad was a veteran. He went in the service, I think, when he was 17. My dad had 8 sisters, and he was the baby boy. So I always thanks my grandfather, you know, for he just kept it going till he got a boy. So James in Austin, and I'm junior, and then I got a boy that's the third. So yeah. So thank you for that service, and that's a thank you from me and my family for doing that.
More than welcome. We just did it, you know, back in those days. One of the reasons you went into the service, from our point of view, is that you got to eat every day, you got clothing and a roof over your head. And I came from a poor side of town that growing up we didn't necessarily eat every day. And, you know, we had one set of clothing and it was cleaned every night and that was it. You know, so it wasn't, you know, it was a big financial move up going into the military.
Okay. getting 3 meals a day.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I know.
And it was safer, you know. I mean, I had a rough neighborhood.
Okay. What city in Louisiana?
New Orleans.
Oh, okay. Well, that used to be one of my favorite hanging spots. I went to the Essence Festival for about 15 years and love that music. So when you're in New Orleans, you just feel that music, that vibe, that Bourbon Street. How often do you go back?
Oh, probably about 5-6 times a year.
Okay.
We go back over there and go visit and hit the restaurants and the clubs.
Okay. Getting that good music. You're married?
I'm married for just had my 50th wedding anniversary,
God bless you.
you know, so, my sweetheart was born next to me. We've been together all her life, you
Okay.
know, so.
Okay, kids, how many kids you
We
have?
have 3 kids and
Okay.
8 grandkids.
Okay. Yeah, I know I met your daughter at the Stockyards Business Association meeting, so I know that you're very involved, and you know, I mean, that is something that I have 5 kids myself, and I've always wanted one of them or more to follow me in commercial real estate. But they've chosen different patterns, but they moved out, got their college degrees, they got their own careers, and they're off Dad's payroll, so I'm real proud of what they're doing on their own decisions in life.
That's the big thing, getting off of Dad's payroll,
Yes, yes, sir.
making their own way. I've been blessed.
So, you've been in Fort Worth how long?
We moved here in '76,
Okay,
you know, so I've been here quite a few years.
okay. Well, I moved here in '77. I finished college in '76 and came here March 1, 1977. I remember so clearly driving into the city, and had never been to Texas in my life, and just came here with American Express and kind of fell in love with the market. But you remember Sam McCall?
I do.
Yes. Sam and I had an experience that I decided I wanted to stay in Fort Worth, and I was buying lots on the courthouse steps. And I bought 8 lots for $50 a piece. I mean, I'm like, what the heck? And Sam comes over, he says, Jim, you know a couple of them lots are in a creek. I said, nah, he wants them for himself. Well, it was true. I didn't know what I was doing. I bought 8 lots for $400. So him and I took up a friendship, and he said, hey, let me teach you commercial real estate. So I joined his company and stayed 2 years, and then hung my shingle out in 1981. You know, so I ain't stay around there long. You know, I had to have mine. You know.
I fully understand, you know, you know, 'cause growing up I had a real bad speech impediment due to some brain damage I had as a child.
Okay.
So I couldn't talk. And, you know, I stuttered real bad. So when I got out of Vietnam, became a drill sergeant, you know, one of the problems I had is I couldn't talk. And I had an old sergeant tell me, he said, son, I want you to go out there and every night talk to those trees. And those trees will never laugh at you. And I did that every night for months and months and months. Went out there and talked to trees. They never laughed. I became a good drill sergeant. Never stopped talking since then. You know, got into recruiting duty and learned sales. If you could sell the Army and a volunteer military, right, you could sell anything back
Yes,
in those
sir.
days. So when I got here, I decided I was going to go to college, and you know, I had to finish high school, and I did that, and went to a North Texas State University. Went to Tarrant County Junior College,
Okay.
and then got my associate's degree, and then got my bachelor's at North Texas with a major in commercial real estate analysis. And then when I got out of that, I went to work. I tried to get a job in commercial real estate, but no one would hire me.
That was kind of the same thing with me too. I did residential for 2 months, and it didn't fit my personality, residential. So, you know, that's when I decided commercial was what to do. There's a lot of land around here.
That's me. I got into residential, and I didn't have time to take classes. I had to get out there and make money to feed my family. And I did real well. In the 6 months, I was setting some records, and I got a call from Larry Rice, but Henry S. Miller Commercial.
Sure, legend,
You know,
legend.
and Larry called me down and said I needed to come to work downtown, and I couldn't be doing residential anymore. And he wanted me, and I got down there and didn't know much about commercial real estate, but learned a little bit. And then in '86, when the market turned, you know, they was looking at us. In '87, they got rid of us all.
Okay.
You know, you remember those days, you know, and there wasn't no business at all. And I ended up in '88 going to work for a gentleman named Mike Bowman.
Sure.
Century 21 Mike Bowman. And I told Mike, I said, Mike, I don't sell residential, I'm a commercial agent. He says, well, come sell commercial agent, you know, for us. And I was kind of hesitant, but I said I'd give it a try. And that year they had a convention in downtown Dallas, Century 21 convention, and I attended it. And at the convention, I sold 13 properties to real estate brokers. And what I realized is that in the Century 21 system, they didn't have a commercial division. And they had 10,000 agents around the United States. Everybody wanted to have them somebody who had money that wanted to buy something. So I started selling commercial real estate agents and doing referrals. And I was selling almost a property, closing almost a property a day.
Okay.
We bought and sold, I had my name in the deeds of over 2,000 properties here in Tarrant County.
Okay.
And we did.
See, audience, did I tell you I had a real legend in the studio today? Someone that I've always respected and just seen him around town, really not ever got to know him, but there was a mutual respect, and that's what we do in the career of commercial real estate. There's a mutual respect for each other, that particularly here in Tarrant County, you know, and
Small
around
market,
yeah, small market.
you know, a small market. I did about a little bit over 900 million in sales in about a 6-year period. And it was pretty
And I'm
good.
only the $6 million man. We got the $900 million
You know,
man
it's
here.
we did good. I got in friends with the head of the FDIC. And remember you said you bought those lots for $50 each?
Yes, sir.
I still own lots that I bought for $5 each in Bridgeport, Texas, you know, from the FDIC. You know, we was buying so many properties. I got properties that I bought that I never saw. I just bought them because they were so cheap I couldn't go wrong.
Well, you know, during the RTC, you know, I was a friend of mine, Blair, was had the contract to get brokers to manage different properties. So during that RTC period, if you had money, you could make a lot of money. Because I remember the Hunt family, I think that's when they bought all that property down there at Cooper and I-20. I remember they showed up. But I managed about 60 properties that, you know, I sold through RTC. And I mean, there were some super deals back in that time that you could buy properties 10 cents on the dollar.
I didn't have no money, but I made a bunch of it. And we bought it real cheap.
Yes,
I remember
sir.
in Dallas, I bought the corner of I-20 and I-35, 20 acres. It was at an auction, and I was the last person there, and I didn't know what to do, so I bid, I said $52,500. And I bought it, $52,500, 20-acre commercial corner.
That was it.
That was it.
That was the game
That
in
was
real
fun,
estate,
you know.
is if you go to an auction, everybody's excited, and then you hang around to the end, you can get some of those good deals. You
We did.
know?
We got some great deals.
Well, I know you've been a big investor in the Stockyards.
Yeah, back in, I retired back in '95. I've been retired for quite a while. And I started buying properties in the Stockyards in December of '93, so I just kind of bought those so I can play with them.
Yes,
You know,
sir.
and I like history, so I was redoing some old buildings and doing that. But at that time, I bought the exhibits building in 2 parking lots on North Main.
Yes, sir.
Both of them has a little stream that goes through them.
Yes, sir.
And I got it for $1.6 million,
Okay.
400,000 down, $1.2 million loan. I sold one of the parking lots back in 2016 for $2.3 million. I figured I paid 200,000 for it. I sold another one in, last year, 2019, for 3 million. I paid 200,000 for that one.
Yes, sir.
And then the building that we paid $1.2 million for, cash flow paid it off. And we sold that for 4 million, so that's 9.3 million, and we invested, 400 something thousand dollars for it. I think it's 417,000 total investment. So
Yes,
that's a good
sir.
return.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
good, good.
and that's in the business of real estate, particularly commercial, it's about leverage. One of the things that I did as a broker, I figured in order to stay around, I needed to do something outside the box. Because when I was with Sam, all of my properties were going to the same 3 investors. So I decided to start limited partnerships. And probably 30 years ago, I did my first one, the Ascension Group. We bought a strip center, owner finance. We bought a property from Wells Fargo, 10,000 square foot warehouse for $5,000, and we sold it for 60. But limited partnership, it's all about leverage. So when you can leverage your capital and buy something, until the banks fail. So it's a little bit more difficult right now, wouldn't you say, to get bank financing? Not for a cat like you, but...
Yeah, the banks got tons of money. The one that wants me to borrow, I don't want to borrow it. I got too much money in the banks.
Yes, sir.
So, but it's a situation that if you can leverage it. When we bought ours, I did the reverse philosophy at the FDIC. I paid cash for everything. We had cash coming in, and the government at that time just wanted to get out the business.
Mm-hmm.
So we basically 90% of everything we bought, we paid cash for.
Okay.
And you don't have any debt. It's real easy to make money.
Well, you know that saying, cash is king.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you don't owe anybody, cash is king.
But it wasn't mine, so I was making mine on the commissions. But then I got to the point where I could start buying properties myself.
Yes, sir.
And that's when when I could buy them myself, then that's how I ended up really making money for the ownership of real estate. I mean, what properties I have left provides my family, me and my wife, a very nice monthly income.
Yes.
We never have to worry about money for the rest of our lives.
We call that cash flow. Cash flow. Well, hey, Mike, it's been great talking with you, and thank you for spending some time. We're now on the Austin Hour. Is there anything that you want to say and share with my audience? We're syndicated. We're all over the world. Is there anything advice that you'd like to give someone young or anyone of, how they should live their life or look for success?
I think that right now, 2020 is probably the best time ever to be alive to move ahead. You got to believe in yourself and go out there, have your dream, and do it. It's going to take a lot of hard work. More than 40 hours a week, more than 80 hours a week. You're going to have to work. You can achieve anything you want in life. And there's nothing holding you back except yourself. Education, hey, I'm a dropout. Money, we didn't have any of that. I mean, I draw into service for $19 a month. That was money for me. So you can get out there, you can make a lot of money, and you can do it. There's no reason why you can't.
Well, my motto is the harder I work, the luckier I am.
Yes.
So I want to thank you, listening audience, for checking in. My friend, Mike Costanza,